What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Randy, with RTS Mobile Gaming. I am bringing you another fantastic video today. We are playing Sea of Conquest. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about my brand new favorite build for this season. After days and days of testing and tweaking and min-maxing all the different stats, we have created a build that has 5 times out of 6 been defeating the anti-meta 5.0 setup. And I am really excited to debut this build for you today. Get excited. Here we go. We'll also be talking briefly about the sponsor for today's video, GemZ. Okay? And as we go through this build, we will do our best to talk about the ways that you can use this as a lower spending player, since obviously I'm making this build from a whale account. All right? So here we go. First off, the flagship. We have changed up the flagship a little bit here to make this a little bit more effective for our needs. Since our flagship is no longer a massive aggro draw, it is actually our second largest aggro draw now with the new bait ship model. I have decided to put Django in here instead of Magnus. Django is going to provide a ton of rage generation for 3 of your ships every 5 seconds. Every 10 seconds for a 5-second period. He also is going to give some of your ships rage generation every 3 seconds. This is kind of minor, sort of negligible, but it's nice because it's contributing to the overall high rage build we're running. Okay, so Django on the flagship, ladies and gentlemen. We are still seeing great damage redirection from Obi, a lot of fantastic shielding coming from Ahab, and overall the flagship is able to survive very well and still dies last in the fight. All right, on to the Fearless Princess, folks, and then we'll talk about GemZ, the sponsor for today's video. Here on the Fearless Princess, we are running Cordelia, Delilah, and Wanda. This build is actually a massive healing build, and because you have Delilah on this ship, you are essentially able to trigger the Wanda ultimate through Delilah's enhanced rage generation Fury Potion skill. You were able to trigger the Wanda ultimate a second or 2 before your other ships get off their rage skills. This means that your ships are going to have this 20% attack bonus. They'll also be triggering bonus basic attacks. They'll be giving Wanda a bunch of rage generation for her ship, okay? And you are going to see a ton of healing coming from Cordelia. In addition, when Delilah does land her ultimate on the enemy fleet, she will be giving them strategic vulnerability. This means that when Griffin launches his ultimate about a second or 2 later after Delilah drops hers, he is going to be hitting targets and dealing 12% bonus damage, plus he'll have the 20% bonus attack from Wanda's Panther Guard. Therefore, we are creating a crazy Thunder Cannon setup that is able to, as long as your Griffin is 6-star, launch 2 massive crit damage ultimates early in the fight. Okay? And on to GemZ, the sponsor for today's content. Alright folks, the Crow and Ember Volcana have been released into the game as of 2 days ago. They are both incredibly strong blazing heroes. I posted a video on the Crow 2 days ago. Make sure you check that out. If you would like to get the Crow or Ember Volcana, they are available in-game through the knife throwing wheel, okay? In order to throw knives on the knife throwing wheel, you probably want to spend a little money. If you are going to spend money in this game, I highly recommend you check the link in my description below and join the GemZ Discord today. Check out the deals they're offering. They're offering fantastic deals such as $100 packs for $85. Again, investigate for yourself. Thank you to GemZ for sponsoring today's content. Alright, on to the Orochi, folks. Welcome back. The Orochi here again. If you have a 6-star Griffin, you are going to be in a good spot. You don't have to have a 12-star Griffin like me. 6-star Griffin is still going to get you the ability to use the Precision Commands skill and trigger a second Griffin ultimate in the first 12 to 15 seconds. If you have him at a higher level, obviously he'll trigger it a little bit faster. Alright? So 6-star Griffin is sort of mandatory for the strategic side of this build. If you don't have Griffin at 6 stars, then I would recommend not putting Onimusha on this ship because we're not going to focus as much on your as much on your strategic damage without a 6-star Griffin, okay? Onimusha is going to be best in slot for this particular build because, again, we are leading into the Thunder Cannon setup here where you have Delilah and Wanda giving Griffin bonuses. We're going to have Onimusha giving Griffin bonuses from his critical damage here, which basically boosts the damage for his ship by 40% because it's all crit damage. Okay, he's going to be giving the ship bonus crit rate, and essentially it's really, really powerful when you have these guys combined. Letitia Miller is great, but you really don't need her. Molly is also a tremendous, tremendous hero. However, I do enjoy Letitia Miller a little bit more because she provides she provides a higher rage. It's not showing the rage, but it costs 50% more rage for her to activate her ultimate. So she's providing an off cooldown ultimate, which is really interesting for me. And she's helping apply a lot of strategic damage stacks and give bonus impact and attack for the ship. Okay? So Letitia Miller is best in slot, but Molly is also great as well. And if you don't want to put Onimusha here, because maybe Griffin is only 3 or 4 stars, that's fine. You can put Boa instead of Onimusha. She will do a great job. I believe you can get Boa at VIP 4 for like $10. So I highly recommend you get a 3 or 4 star Boa in Onimusha's spot if you don't have Onimusha, or a 6-star Griffin. Okay? For the ship parts, Blade of Freedom is going to be what you want to use here. And I forgot to mention the ship parts on the Fearless. Blade of Freedom is what you want to use here too for high attack and high heals. Blade of Freedom is what you want to use here to give you an incredible amount of impact and lots of attack and lots of critical damage. Okay? The stats on this ship look like this. And keep in mind, I am going to get another 30% crit rate from Onimusha, so I could actually, in theory, take off this crit trinket and put on Griffin's trinket. However, I do really, really enjoy the rage generation that comes when you kill an enemy ship with Griffin's ultimate. This 200 rage is beautiful. So for this particular build, I'm going to recommend Demise Proclamation. Okay? On to the strategic ship, the artillery ship. I don't know what ship this is. We have taken Ophelia, we put her on the bench. We put Bones combined with Sharky and Ricky for a couple reasons. One, the goddess has always been the #1 aggro draw because it does disgusting damage from the second one of the fight till the final second of the fight. It never stops doing crazy damage, and it is probably the biggest aggro draw in the fight early on until you start triggering rage skills on other ships or your aggro skills on your taunt ships, okay? Bones is going to help this ship really shine. First off, he is going to lower the aggro on this ship by 20 and boost its attack. He is also going to provide good rage generation at 6 stars. If you don't have Bones at 6 stars, use Ophelia, okay? If you don't have Bones at 6 stars, I just want to repeat that, you are not going to benefit from his rage regeneration, so you're better off using Ophelia, okay? And I just want to make that very clear. Bones is another one, just like Griffin. Bones is most effective at 6 stars, and you really are going to see a world of difference if he's at 6 stars. And here in Season 4, I know several free-to-play players that have both Bones and Griffin at 6 stars, so it is doable. Really prioritize your Gold Con summonings and try to get them both to 6 stars as fast as possible. All right? So with all the rage regen on this ship, we're going to see a ton of damage. My favorite skill for the Goddess Ajit is going to be New Age Ammunition. However, the Reluctant to Fall Behind skill is also incredibly powerful. They're both great for this build. Ship parts, 2-piece Fury, 2-piece Sacred Guardian is going to give you a perfect blend of tankiness to complement all of your green gems, as well as incredible crit damage to really benefit from having all this damage on your ship. Okay, so I highly recommend that combination. It'll help your ship live even longer because, again, even with Bones reducing the aggro on this ship, you are still going to draw a lot of aggro early in the fight. The Stormbringer. All right, the Crow. So, after a lot of testing, I have decided that the Crow is about 5% better than Tanaka. I tested them in group AoE at a port. I tested them farming auto traders. I tested it in straight clashes and in real world duels against some folks who were a little bit stronger than me. And after a lot of testing, again, I have confirmed that the Crow is a good hero, and he's about 5% more effective, plus or minus, than my Lester. Keep in mind, my Lester is 12 stars, the Crow is only 8 stars, so the Crow will get stronger at 12 stars. I imagine at the 12-star mark, he might be 10% stronger than Tanaka. So, he's good. This is the legendary combo. If you have Lester, it's Lester, Tanaka, Adeline. This is the legendary Season 2 combo that we ran for a long time, for many seasons, which was the top damage dealer in Season 2, top damage dealer in Season 3, and it is still the top damage dealer in Season 4, without a doubt, no competition. No competition. Okay, and the Crow makes that build a little bit stronger, so get excited. However, we're going to shake this up. In 2 days' time, Ember Volcana will be released on my server. I will get Ember Volcana, and once I have Ember Volcana, I will put her in Adeline's spot, and Adeline will move onto the bait ship. I am using Fury of the Storm set for this particular ship because I want this ship to be shredding armor. Since the Crow is applying burning stacks immediately when the fight starts, he spreads 4 burning stacks onto 1 burning stack onto 4 different ships. Okay, you are going to be activating the armor penetration immediately. However, I have also seen great performance from Blade of Freedom sets on this ship, and obviously if the ship is dying too fast, I have used Sovereign in the past, and I recommend you use Sovereign today. Okay, it's a great setup. You could also use the 2-piece Fury, 2-piece Guardian setup on your Stormbringer, which I also very highly recommend. It is an incredibly powerful setup, and I have no objection if you decide to do that. Okay? On to the last ship here, guys. The Crimson Sentinel. This is the mega bait ship that you have seen in the Anti-Meta 5.0 build, and now you are seeing it again today in my favorite build for Season 4. This double Eagle Shield bait ship aggro massive monster pew 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 death and destruction is fantastic. Not only does it do decent damage, it's not going to outdamage your Stormbringer or your Orochi, but it does pretty good damage. If your Orochi is going to do 25 million damage, the Crimson Sentinel is going to be probably around 16 to 18 million damage. It does solid damage with 2 damage heroes, 1 tank hero, incredibly high aggro, 0 crit stats, right? I'm not using crit anywhere in this build. The figurehead is attack, the sail is crit resistance. The stats on this ship look like this. I only have crit stats from the couple red gems in my specialization tree. I have almost 100% critical resistance, so not only am I taunting a crazy amount of damage to this ship, which is causing Hammer Conquest to activate a ton of taking on water on the enemy ships when they attack him, it is causing a beautiful amount of damage to not hit my other ships, like my Stormbringer or my Goddess or my Orochi. Okay, so having the Crimson Sentinel with this high aggro build is one of my favorite things to date, and I don't know if I'm ever going to not run this. I love it. I put on Magnus to mess around because I put Django on the Flagship, which I'm actually enjoying Django on the Flagship. However, if you don't have Magnus, or once you have Ember, I am going to put Adeline back down. She is going to be on this ship instead of Magnus. Adeline is going to do less damage than Hammer, but she's still going to do solid damage. And maybe you'll see this ship in that same example where the Orochi does 25 and this does 16. Maybe this will do closer to 21. So the Orochi's still going to be top damage, battling back and forth with the Stormbringer for the top damage spot. This will be a close 3rd or 4th with artillery somewhere mixed in there as well. Okay, so that is the setup, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'm going to pull up 1 or 2 straight class reports because I don't want to bore you with a million reports today. This is against my good friend, E2. She is running the Anti-Meta 5.0. She is running a little bit over 3 million higher power than me on my March setup, and she has an incredibly strong setup here. As you can see, many heroes maxed out. Crazy strong. Shout out to E2. And she is running, again, the Anti-Meta 5.0. So I've made it my mission to defeat that build with this setup. And with the tweaks we made today to min-max everything, again, we are seeing crazy damage from the Orochi, crazy damage from the Stormbringer, great damage still from artillery. Let's pull up this report where all the ships actually live to the end. This will be a slightly better comparison for you. And you can see the Stormbringer really started to snowball pretty hard. The Stormbringer started to snowball incredibly hard, including Adeline, who is not benefiting from all the burning stacks that are being thrown by the Crow and Tanaka. Okay, so this is still a massive combo. Can't knock it. Highly recommend it. Bunny, don't you pee on my computer. Don't you pee there. Bunny was getting ready to pee on my computer. And thank you to GemZ for sponsoring today's video. So, again, like and subscribe. Randy, out.